Guys, beer, sports. Join Sean and Brad as they talk about sports and share a beer. From the east coast of Canada to the west coast of the United States. Over to you, boys.
Hey everybody, what's up, guys? Beer Sports back again. Sean and Brad. Special guest Anton is here. We're gonna have some just fun conversations. We've been kind of talking already before we get going, so today should be a good, fun ride. Fellas, how are you today?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Anton. I'm excited to talk to you there, buddy. Anton Manson. It's so funny when I heard you played for the Q before and you had a brother, and your last name was Manson. I was like, oh my gosh, no, that's so close to the Hanson brothers. I was like, do they fight? And then when I'm looking at your stuff, it's like, oh yeah, they do.
I have a third brother too, so
I saw that. Is he how much younger is he?
he's 3 years younger than me.
Wow.
Have you guys heard that Hanson brother comparison before?
Never. This first time.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. That's one of two. Is that like
Oh, your lighting is crazy.
what is it? Browns?
Josh
The
Allen.
Buffalo Bills
No,
jersey.
Josh Allen.
Oh, Bill. That's
jersey.
my squad.
Yeah.
That's my
Your
squad.
squad too?
Yeah, that's my squad.
But it looks orange.
It does. It looks like a Browns.
Yeah, it looks like a Browns jersey. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
17 in the Browns. You know, Sean has a Cleveland Browns fetish also. So.
Hey,
Weird.
there's
What?
nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong when they were both losers. Okay, nobody minded.
Sean
Nobody
has two
minded that
teams.
at all.
The
You have two
Browns
teams?
and the Bills.
I don't like that.
Listen, it's because I got married, and
No.
Anton, you and I are already fast friends. I appreciate
Yeah,
it. We are just, that's easy.
man. So the first time I met Anton was actually in the forces here, just recently. Actually, I believe like a year ago.
Year two, yeah.
And the first time I actually talked to you was when we were doing that game you guys were playing for Christmas. Friendly inter-squad against the HMCS Toronto. They split the ship
Yeah.
in two and played, and I pretended to be the coach, and because I didn't do any coaching, I just stood there. But I remember seeing you skate
Were you
out
dressed
there.
up? Did you like get to put a suit on and all that?
No.
Disappointing.
No. Yeah, it was. But I remember watching Anton going around and hearing you played for the Q and all that. Dude, you were taking it easy on people. Like I really thought you were, and respectfully so. It's like somebody that could do a slam dunk is probably not going to do it to somebody just standing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
were
be
like,
that guy.
Sean, you've
Yeah.
never dunked before.
Yeah.
You've
Never,
dunked before.
never,
You can dunk.
never.
If you can dunk, you're giving it to everybody. Like
That's
there's no ands if or buts about it.
man. But I really wanted to get into what got you in there, because we were talking beforehand and you were telling me how your whole entire trip to the Q was a roundabout one. It was kind of like something out of high school. I'd like you to go into that, please.
Yeah, sure. So obviously started playing hockey as long as I can remember. My old man, he played in the Q. He played for Hull. He played with Luke Robitaille and Pat Burns was his head coach.
Wow.
Yeah. And then so all my uncles and cousins all play, and my older brother played, and kind of just want to be like them. So I idolized those guys and tried to be like them. And then remember my second year midget AAA, trying for the max. And I think I'm having a great camp, doing really well, getting points every game, scoring a bunch of goals. And last cuts come around and they said, yeah, we're sort of going to take someone else. You didn't make it. So I was like, damn, all right, like, what now? So I'm talking to my old man. He's like, yeah, just play high school, man, and we'll like try again next year, I guess. I was like, I don't know, man, like be third year midget trying out the AAA, like what's the point? So I just went back to play high school with my buddies. And I ended up like having a really good year. Pretty sure led league in points. And then that same year, my older brother was playing junior A for Halifax. And when my high school was done, I got called up to junior A as a 15-year-old. It was 15. Maybe
Wow.
16.
Wow.
So the same year I got cut into AAA, I ended up playing junior A. And that year I got drafted out of JL Ellerslie High School to the Q.
So at 15, you're eligible then to be drafted to the QMJHL then at 15 to start at 16 then?
16, you drafted 16.
So
Yeah.
16.
That means you convert her over.
Yeah, that's a hard sell, man.
He's got 2 or 3 different teams for each sport.
Not true at all, Brad.
Whoever's doing the best.
Now you're just
Well, he's just that guy. He's just that guy.
now you're just making stuff up.
No, I'm not making
completely. I mean, I only have one baseball team, one basketball team. Although I do have a little soft spot for the Celtics.
See,
That's my
there we
squad.
go.
All right.
I do, yeah.
You can like other teams, but you just can't support them that way. Like, that's my thing. You know, I have teams that I find myself rooting for in games when I'm buying jerseys. Sean.
Well, okay. I got a lot of jerseys.
Yeah,
Well,
there we go. Thanks.
But I get the ones that look good.
So do I, though. Here's the difference. Here's the difference. Are they for the player or for the team?
They're for the look.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in the summer. Basketball jerseys.
Yep. Even better.
But usually it's for the player. I never for a team. Oh, I have like a million Celtics jerseys and then like a couple like nice jerseys. Like I have a Larry Bird college jersey, which is Celtic player, so that counts.
Yeah.
And I gotta just say, I got everything.
I think it counts if you're a fan of the player. Then I have zero issue with it. My issue is always, and then my issue is usually
Wait a
just-
second though, because you had an issue with my Russell Wilson jersey and you had an issue with my Brett Favre jersey on a Minnesota squad.
Yeah, but neither of those were because of the player, or if it was, that wasn't your case. You didn't make that case. You're just now learning this information.
Get out of here. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so then the next year, so that summer I go up training camp, and my brother also goes to Shawinigan and picks my brother up, so we could both go up training camp together. And so you asked me earlier how I got into fighting and if I got drafted for my toughness.
Because
But it
I was checking out your YouTube page, right? And so I saw that there's a few fights that's on there, and your name's beside it. So of course, that was my next question. Was definitely like, were you engaged in a lot of fights? Because I know the WHL, that's like a fighting league. The Western Hockey League out of the whole entire Canadian Hockey League. I remember I would see they'd come out with the shovels to shovel off the blood. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm there going.
I always say that the West Coast is like known as Tough League. Ontario is like the Finesse League, and the Q was a mix of both, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at some of those fights, man. And it was like, man, you were ready to throw down every time. So I was did you roll yourself into that or?
So my old man, when he played in the Q, he was a fighter.
Yeah.
So like it kind of came naturally, and like he'd always show us a few things here and there. We'd always go helmets and gloves in my living room, just messing around, and like, oh yeah, he'd come over and he wouldn't wear a mask and he'd fight you and you'd try to put it on him, and till one day my brother gave him a bloody nose.
Yep.
And then
all the fun and games stop as a father. As soon as you can get got, you just stop.
Yeah.
You can't give the power up.
And then, so anyway, yeah, we're going to training camp, and my brother, he fought all year in junior A, and he was a great fighter. And he goes, we get into Shawinigan, we get boarded with another guy who comes, a pretty good friend of mine now, and this young kid around my age. And this young kid, all he talked about was fighting, how tough he was, and he's going to do this, fight this guy and fight that guy. And he's going to, last year he fought this guy and that guy. My brother looks at me and goes, Anton. He's like, what's up, man? He's like, you're fighting him. I was like, what? He's like, you're going to fight him. I was like, all right, man. I never fought before, but yeah, I guess so. So the first intersection game.
Wait a second. You never fought ever in your hockey?
No.
Never.
No.
So
Well,
this isn't-
On ice.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's got brothers and a dad, man. He's been fighting his whole life.
In high school, I got in one scrum, but it one punch and buddy dropped. And but that was the only fight. That wasn't really a fight. It was just a scrum.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shouldn't goes, you're fighting this guy. I was like, all right, man. I guess I'm fighting this guy. So the first intersections game, we line up. Buddy goes, hey man, you want to fight? I was like, I guess. Yeah, I guess I'm fighting. So we drop the gloves and we square off. And I think he throws a punch, and I just dodge back and I grab him and I hit him a couple times, and he just like goes cold on his feet, like. So like I like pull him back up, hit him a couple more times, and he drops. And I was like, after that, my adrenaline was pumping. I was shaking. I was like, hey, I guess I can fight.
So right there and then is when you figured out you can do this. Is your new role. well, a role that you would relish in. Now,
I never knew that hockey players talked about fighting beforehand. I always thought it was like some spur.
What?
oh, buddy,
Hockey's not my
Listen to
thing.
this.
I play other sports.
you
My
see them
second-
chirp each other. Yeah, you go
my
for it.
s-
Go for it.
I fought a couple guys and like we talk in the box. We're buddies. Like I fought with this one guy 4 times, but Ashton Bernard and my second year we're in training camp in Randa, and I'm talking to him before the game. And usually, like your second year, you're not going to fight really in training camp. And then someone asks you, like maybe help him out, you give him a fight. But I talked to him before the game. It's like, hey man, I was like, what's up? It's like, you fight this guy for me on my team? And I was like, yeah man, like sure, like I guess. Like he's like, yeah, he's been trying to fight me all training camp, and like he won't leave me alone. Like, can you just fight him for me in this game? I was like, yeah, man, but you got to fight this guy. He said you greasing the midget and he wants to fight you bad. He's like, all right, deal. So he goes out first shift, fights the guy on my team, mushes his nose up, and destroys him. And then this other guy comes out and goes, Manson, you want to fight? I was like, yeah, we're doing it. We're fighting. He goes, all right. Like, he started talking me up, like, I know your brother. Like, he played here. And, like, I'm really excited to fight you. I'm like, okay, man, yeah, let's do it. So we drop our gloves and we're lined up. He's like, do you want to take your helmet off? I was like, yeah, man, if you like, sure, if you want to, like, we'll take our helmets off. So we turn our helmets off and we line up and I go, boom, hit him once. And as soon as I hit him, his head just goes in my chest and he's like wrestling me. I'm like, what's this guy doing? He's not throwing a punch, nothing. So we get to the ground and he rolls on top of me and the refs pull him up. Blood rolls down my chest, into my mouth, on my face. I'm gagging. I get over, start spitting. Oh, I look up and Buddy's eyes like skin's like flap, and I cut him over for 17 stitches around his eyes.
Oh,
It was bad, man. Yeah, my shoulder pad is still stained.
oh my gosh,
Yeah,
dude, you're a bad man.
That's awesome.
Rigged
Except
against
for-
me. I don't understand this.
Not
Jeez.
rigged against you.
Rigged against
Your lifestyle rigs it against you.
Listen, I like a happy marriage. Okay. And for that to go through, I got to cheer for the Browns. It's as simple as that. I drew the line at the Cavaliers. Okay. I drew the line there.
yeah. Once LeBron left,
I felt like I was piling on, but now I feel safe with it.
Right, man. All right. I'm going to do the countdown and we'll just get to it, eh? What do you say?
sounds good.
Except for the swallowing blood part. It was always.
Oh, yeah, it was gross.
That's the worst.
Oh,
Especially when you're, like you're drinking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you get someone else's blood in your mouth, it's, man, I don't care what anybody
Wasn't
says.
great.
That's a rough day.
Man.
So anyway, going back to my story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting cut that year in Shawinigan. My brother made it, played for Shawinigan that year. And so I go back to junior A, go back to training camp. I fight a few more times. I end up breaking my hand on someone's forehead. And then I was out for a bit and I came back and like probably around Christmas time, I played a few games junior A and then our team was trash and playoffs weren't an option for us. So I ended up starting to play junior B games with the Bay Ducks. So if I played enough games junior B, I could play playoffs with them. So I played enough games, played playoffs. We ended up losing in the league finals. And every league champion goes to, it's called the Don Johnson Cup, the Atlantic Championships. So it's like PEI, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Newfoundland. So Newfoundland wasn't sending a team to Atlantics. So we snuck into Atlantics and then won the whole tournament.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Man. So the
And
thing
then-
is like this is separate from, this is absolutely separate from the Memorial Cup then, eh? Like
This is 2 levels down, junior B.
2 levels. Okay. Still though, dude, that's
So then, so the next year when I made Shawinigan, I went up there. It's like, okay, I played junior B last year. Like that's 2 levels down from the queue. Like there's no way I'm making this team.
Right.
So I got up there. I told all my friends, yeah, I'll be back in like 5 weeks, maybe. Like won't be there that long. Be back playing junior A next year or whatever. So I go up there and I'm almost on fire, man. I'm scoring everything I get. I go 2 for 2 on penalty shots, 2 for 2 on in the shootout. I won the shootout competition in the training camp, and like I scored a hat trick in against Victoriaville. And like I didn't even fight. I don't think I fought once
wow.
at training camp. So anyway, like final cuts are coming up, and I go to my coach. It's Eric Bayou. He coached the Moose Jets a couple years ago, and he goes, "Yeah, man, like I'm going to tell you right now, you weren't supposed to make this team, but like you're leading team in scoring. How can I not take you?
Right.
I was like, I guess I'm not going home. And then, yeah, that's how I made it. So like my first little bit in the queue, like I was playing top 3 lines. I still, even at towards the end, I still had a lot of power play time.
Right.
Just because I was big in front of the net, good with my stick. But yeah, then, so I didn't really fight that much. Only I fought sometimes because my brother played in the league and he played for Lewiston at the time. He got traded in the summer. And he was like the number one fighters in the league. So everyone just assumed I was a fighter. So sometimes here and there, people would ask me to fight and I'd fight them. But I wasn't looking for fights really. So we had another guy on my team, Kyle Hennigan, was a huge guy who could throw down. So I didn't have to fight that much. But then that trade deadline, we weren't doing that great. So they traded like all their like older guys and we got younger, and then we didn't really have a guy to fight. And that's how I kind of got the role.
Oh, so you ended up just inheriting it then.
Yeah,
man. What I could say is that's a crazy roundabout way to get to the queue and to play against, like I was seeing there some of the names on Halifax was like Voracek, who ended up going up in the league, and I mean here you are mixing it around, getting in there, playing. This is a very high level of hockey. You know, I was looking at, there's a few people that were on your team that ended up going over to the KHL and playing out in Europe.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, like that's how good you guys are, is that if you can't make it here, there's always a place for some Canadian to go play hockey, right? It's like, especially at that level. When did it all kind of stop for you? When did it sort of, like, you're still playing, I know this, right? But not probably at the level that you were thinking you were going to be playing at, right? So
my 19-year-old year, so I always had conscious locations, so my shoulders always popped out here and there, and they just popped right back in.
Right.
Sore, but it wasn't a big deal. And there's one game we were playing in Drummondville, my 19-year-old year, and there's a guy skating up and down the red line. I'm like, what's this idiot doing? He's skating up and down. So I got him to talk to him. I was like, hey man. He's like, hey, what's up? I was like, what are you doing? He was like, oh, I just got traded here. I just got here. I'm from out west and came here to fight. I'm looking to see who your fighter is. Well, you're looking at him. And he goes, oh, it's you. I was like, yeah, man, what's up? He's like, you think you want to go this game? Like I'm trying to like make a name for myself. I'm trying to fight. Like, you think you want to go? I was like, well, we'll see how the game goes and like come see me and we'll talk about it. Very first shift, he goes, we're fighting. I was like, man, I just told you, like, we just talked about, like, give me a minute. Like, I told you, like, see how the game goes and we'll talk about it. And this is Drummondville. This is like when you're in Shawinigan, you play Drummondville 10 times a year.
Right. So
we're rivals. So you play Victo and Drummondville 10 times a year, so they're rivals. So these are big games for us.
It makes sense because of just where Shawinigan and Drummondville land in Quebec there as well. So yeah.
So next shift, I'm going out. I'm center at the time, and he switches up and goes face off with me. He's like, we're going right now. I was like, all right, man, let's do it. So the puck drops. I win the face off one hand, drop my stick gloves, and we square off. And I grab him and I'm going, and my shoulder pops out. And when it pops out, I go to pull him back in. And when I pull him back in, it popped back in. And when it popped back in, it caught my shoulder capsule, the whole right tendons, and it ripped. My rotator cuff ripped. And my arm went dead. And then the fight was over. So I go to the room. I'm like, I'm done. Like, I can't even move my arm. I get undressed. And another guy on our team is being an idiot. And he's skating around, hacking guys, spearing guys. So I get my gear back on. I go back out and I fight this guy with one arm. And actually, I ended up getting a scarf right here for it because he got my jersey up. I couldn't see. He hit me with my logo. And so after the game, I was like, my shoulder's done. Like, I can't do anything with it. So, like, I rehabbed it for, like, maybe a month, 2 months. And then I go, okay, I'm good to play. Like, I couldn't take a backhand or anything.
Right.
I couldn't really move one way. So I came back and I played like another month or two. And when I came back, I was like, yeah, like I told my coach, like, yeah, I think I want to be closer to home. I want to be in the Maritimes. I want to get traded to the Maritime division. So, are you sure? Yeah, I want to get traded. He's like, yeah, no problem. And so we'll showcase you the last 2 weeks, and we'll get into closer to home. I was like, perfect. And so I played a couple weeks, and Christmas comes along. That's the trade deadline. So I'm like, same body, my billets, same body. All my buddies like, yeah, see you on the other side. And I get home. And Christmas comes and goes. And I'm supposed to fly up. Like I'm only supposed to be home for like 3 days and go back up to Shawinigan. But they told me, like, don't worry about it. You're good to go. So Christmas goes by. New Year's goes by. And the trade deadline's like January 6th. So one of my man calls up. It's like, yeah, like, we're just wondering what's going for a trade. Like, I talked to these few teams, and like they say they're willing to take him on. Like, can we get traded? Like, no, we're not trading him. My dad was like, what? Yeah, no, we're not trading him. He was like, so can you release him so we can go play at one of these teams? It's like, no, we're not releasing him.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I would never have thought that at that level that it could be that kind of jockeying there between.
Oh yeah, so they wouldn't trade me and they wouldn't release me.
Huh.
So I said, fuck it, like I'm not going back. So I stayed home, played the rest of the year with Halifax Junior A, and in that summer I was like, I got my MRI and I obviously needed surgery, but they told me if I got surgery that I wouldn't. I'd be out for the rest of the year. I'd miss my 20-year-old year junior, so my last year junior. So I said, yeah. So I just played my last year junior with one arm, and got surgery after that.
Now
that rotator cuff mess is terrible. I had the same thing when I was like 17, and it took me forever to get through it.
You know,
even now, like I gotta watch it even now.
Same.
Yeah.
You know,
they make it look like in the movies, right? Like Mel Gibson goes and just puts it in, pop it out and put it in and play.
Well, you can do that. It's just
like I said, I could do that. Mine used to do that, but when it went back in,
it just ended up tearing stuff.
If it gets crossed one time and you tear something in there, like you're done. Like the tear is no joke.
Yeah. No, I mean, I always have empathy for any athlete that has to go through that. With pro wrestling, I ended up snapping my ankle, and everything just came to a grinding halt. That's why I ended up making my transition over to the Navy, Royal Canadian Navy, because it's like I wanted to do something, still keep active, and
not fight 5 dudes on a bar street.
that's a whole different guy. That's a whole different guy.
One time Sean told me he was fighting 5 dudes outside of a bar, and he thought it was a fair. Like I was like, did they like trap you? He's like, no, I thought it was a fair fight. I was like, you thought fighting 5 dudes was fair? He was like, yeah. I was like,
there was a time when I was benching 365, and I was.
That's not even a big number, dude. 365 is not a big
you mix that with,
you can find a dude that benches 360. I mean,
365 is big to
me.
You mix that with some speed and some boxing and some martial arts. It's like,
well, you just said the magic word.
you got a dangerous man.
Yeah.
But then if you mix some alcohol into the mix, you're never.
Oh, you mean speed like quickness, not like the drug? I thought you meant I don't know you to be fast, Sean. I know you to be strong and all that shit, but not fast.
Well, fast is sometimes crafty. It just not necessarily looks fast.
That's something that slow guys say.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Yeah. You're either quick or you're not. Like that's just the thing.
I'm crafty.
Yeah, that's crafty. There's nothing wrong with crafty. There's nothing wrong with crafty.
But listen,
crafty and agile usually can beat speed.
That's it. I will say this, Anton. Like, is that when? Because you would have been pretty young then at that point, eh? Like 20,
19, 20, yeah.
Yeah. So when did you actually get into the RCN after that?
So I got my surgery when I was after my 20-year-old year, I had to wait to get my surgery. So I got my surgery at 21, I think. So I had to wait to recover, and then I applied for the military, and I only applied because I wasn't doing much. I was recovering. I was working at Kent Building Supplies, and my grandfather was in the Navy, and a couple of my dad's buddies in the Navy, and like, man, like you should join the Navy. I was like I don't know, man, like sailing, like I don't know. I've never really been on a boat before. Like I can't see myself sailing.
All right.
Like-
I got a question. I got a question for you there. I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
did you get any sort of, because if you grew up on the East Coast, you probably didn't get any flack for joining the Navy, right? Like
No,
none
not
of
at
your
all.
friends were. Yeah. When I was out in Toronto and I said I was joining the Navy, YMCA, everything. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just
I know.
like,
I
holy
know that.
geez, boys, what in the world? It's like,
No, none of that. Anyway, so they're like, you should join the Navy. I was like, I don't know. He was like, you can play hockey. I was like, what? Like, yeah, man, they have a hockey team. Like, they get to work, they go practice, they play in ports, they play. There's a nationals and regionals. I was like, oh, really? Like, I was like, okay, like,
yeah,
I was
but they
thinking,
didn't
like,
tell
man,
you. They didn't tell you had to be a supply tech, though, right? In order to play all these
no,
games.
but they were like, I was like, man, like, I've been playing like just pick up hockey here and there. I was like, man, I would love to play like a real like meaningful game. So like, I was like, yeah, like I'll think about it. And then I like did some more research in the Navy, and I was like, okay, like looks like a pretty good job. Like if I join the Navy, I'll most likely stay in Halifax where all my family and friends are. Like my grandfather was in the Navy. Like let's do it. So I joined, and when I was going to join, the recruiter was like, "So you want to join the Navy?" Right? I was like, "Yeah, join the Navy." He's like, "Why?" I was like, I want to stay active. You know, like a good career. Family's like, "You want to stay active?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You should join the Army." I was like, "What?" He's like, "You don't be in the Navy. You want to be in the Army." I was like, "No, man. I want to be in the Navy."
I'm
He's like,
pretty sure I
"No."
want to be in the Navy.
He said, "Nope." He said, "Nope. You want to stay active? You want to be in the Army." I was like, "Nope, I don't. I'm going to stay in the Navy." So yeah, he tried to push me hard, Army. I was like, not a chance.
They must be giving bonuses that week.
Yeah. So I was like, not a chance. Like, put me in the Navy. I'm good. But yeah, I got in and been playing hockey ever since, really.
Man, bro, you are too tall to be in the Army.
I'm too tall to be in the Navy.
It's true. It's true. You're,
Well, yeah,
you're
listen,
borderline.
man,
You're
ain't-
borderline. I remember
Listen,
the
you ain't
guy-
walking around. You ain't walking around nowhere trying to get headshots. Though, I mean, at
No.
6'5", like in the Army, you can get
That's
one.
true.
That's always
Yeah.
my deal. Whenever we were out, I was like, man, I'll
I'm
be
just
the
walk-
innocent bystander at 6'4". Like someone's gonna catch me. Like it'll miss all y'all and catch me. Like that's how that shit works.
I'm just walking around the ship getting concussions.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I've done that, and I'm not even. I'm like 6, and I've put my head up in the wrong spot and hit something.
Man, I
real
did it.
hard.
I did it last year. Got a concussion.
Oh man,
I was in Iraq. I was in Iraq for like 10 days. It was the worst 10 days of my life.
Worst 10 days.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, yeah,
Pitch black in Iraq.
yeah. But here's the thing, right? Is that you ended up doing
Yeah,
this
some of that
deployment.
good dad sleep though.
That's it. You ended up doing
I
this
don't stay in a
deployment.
hotel right now and I'll sleep like I'm 2 years old again. I'm just
Yeah,
passed
true.
out because I ain't listening for no. I don't give a shit about no noise at all.
So it's so funny because every single one of you dads that have 5 kids, right? That's what they say. They can't wait for a deployment or something like that, where they're just all by
It
themselves.
doesn't matter where you are. You're just
That's
you're not listening for them little feet. You know what I mean? Like you're just trying to not wake up to a dead kid. That's all you're doing as a dad. You know?
True.
Man. But yeah. So you ended up. I was supposed to go on this deployment as well. Unfortunately, I have some underlying conditions that with COVID, it just didn't work out. They ended up
Hey, you
it
didn't
off
miss
of-
anything.
Yeah, but you ended up doing it, man, and I can only imagine how difficult that must have been. Because usually, I mean, I know every sailor when you look forward to getting into a foreign port, you want to get off.
Yeah.
But you ended up doing that. I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I will come back because there's something I wanted to talk about you getting your promotion by a
Yeah.
certain someone. But I wanted to talk about your experience in that.
Yeah, that's like I said, I had a concussion the day we left.
Wow, the day
Deployment.
you left.
Yeah.
Oh, you hadn't figured out the lay of the land yet. That's a problem for tall people.
Oh, we were on the ship for like 60 days before that, stuck on the ship.
Oh, really?
But,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I forgot you guys got that crazy ass schedule where you go and yeah.
It was awful. Anyway, so yeah, I got a concussion. So I'm in Iraq. I was supposed to be like 6 or 7 days. So like we're good. Like I'm at 2 days, like headaches, nausea, whatever. But after that, I'm good. Like I'm feeling great. The 5th day, we hit this nasty sea state, and I'm on 7S, the front of the boat, and we're just going. And like I just want to rip my eyes open, my head so bad. So I go see the doc. I get put on for like 7 more days. So the start of the trip, I was in Iraq for 10 days straight.
Hmm.
So it didn't start off well. So I think I get out off my chit in Latvia. And Latvia was our first like real port, and it was our best port. So we get in there, we have this big jetty, we're playing ball, we have a little tournament, we had a little draft, beautiful weather. And we're like, oh man, it's not gonna be too bad. It's like, all right, we're having fun. We are getting off the boat a little bit. Hey, and it got way worse from there.
What do you mean?
That was our first port and our best port. The rest of the ports, there weren't really good jetties. You couldn't really leave the boat. It was like Groundhog Day, man. Every port was the same. You wake up, do nothing, wait for the bar to open, do nothing, wait for the bar to open, do nothing.
That's the worst. Yeah. I'm glad you guys got through that, man, because that's a exercise in mental strength. Really, is what it comes down to, you know.
So, it was tough.
Yeah.
I got some partners that float for the U.S. Navy, and they couldn't even get they didn't even pull in.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that, man.
On the boat, they were on the boat 200 days straight.
I couldn't imagine that, man.
Yeah,
and they don't even have a bar.
No.
Yeah, no bar either. Yeah. Harsh.
They went straight. Those boys were wild because they left in the second week of January 2020. So they came back. I remember like the first emails we had were about Kobe dying, and then they came back like they got extended out. They didn't get back until like September, and like they came back to an entirely different world than they had left.
That's crazy.
It was hard for them, I think, to come back because like by the time they came back, we were all kind of well versed in, you know, the pandemic life, right? And those boys came back like not able to like being stuck on a boat for that long and then not be able to do nothing when they got home was
the worst thing. That when we were gone, everything back here was opening up. So like, they're able to do things. They were like going to beaches and lakes, and the bubble opened up so they could go places. And we were just stuck on a ship. Yeah. If they were like stuck home too, I don't think it wouldn't have been as bad for like us. Yeah. It would have been worse for them, but like, so it's pretty shitty that way. And especially like when we were leaving, we were in Halifax for like a week before we left, just alongside in the dockyard. And like we were beside the casino. So these all people walking around and enjoying the weather, and we're just stuck on the boat.
Were you guys on the jetty of shame there all the way down? Yeah. Where you see the casino. Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. You probably hear the casino, which probably makes it worse.
Oh yeah, I hear party boats going out, people on the jet skis. It's
seeing it's a good time, right? But the noise, for me personally, the noise is the worst. Like the noise of people having fun and you can't have no fun is terrible.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, I hate that. That's the worst for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's just backtrack for a moment here. So a certain who I grew up with this man as the captain of the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
How in the world does Wendell Clark come to promote you to your current rank? How does that work?
First of all, I'm a Habs fan.
Oh, come on, Anton. Oh, that's the worst. That's the absolute worst.
So I was like, yes.
The ultimate Maple Leaf is coming to put something on.
And my brother and my old man are Leafs fans.
They have good taste, Anton.
So, So when the Maple Leafs had their training camp here, they came onto our boat for like a little tour. The whole team came on, and I was on course, and they called me down on the boat, and I got there to say, "Yeah, we're promoting you today." I was like, "Wicked," and when I went up promotion, Wendell Clark gave a little speech, called me up, put the hooks on my shoulder, and gave me a handshake. And his hands are massive.
I believe that.
My hands look tiny in his hands. He like gripped my forearm, shaking my hand. I was like, whoa.
It's something to say, being larger fellas, like when someone else makes your hands feel small.
Oh man, it was crazy.
For sure.
Like swallowed my hand. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. I met Sean Kemp one time and I shook his hand. It was the same thing. I felt like a 3-year-old shaking a grown man's hand. He fully like wrapped his, like he was like this. He like touched his fingers, like my hand was in there. And I don't have little hands, you know what I mean? I was like, golly.
Swallowed it up.
Never felt less of a man than I do right now. I'm looking up this guy and he's enveloped my hands. I'm like, God.
It's funny because so my brother was on the St. John's with me at the time too. He's a huge Leafs fan, but I don't know why he wasn't in that day. But I was talking to some of the players that were there, and Colin Greening comes to me. He's like, "Hey man, like Manson." I was like, "Yeah." I was like Tristan's brother. I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Where's Tristan? Where's he been?" He's like, "Well, usually he's on the boat, but like I don't know where he is today." He's like, "Oh man, I'd love to see that guy." Yeah, one of the Leafs players looking for my brother.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Have they played together? Is that how they knew each other?
They have a mutual friend from Newfoundland.
Yeah.
So just about partying, and they've partied together a few times.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, so you got to play against the Bermudian ball hockey team there? when you were
Yeah.
with
So
the Navy?
they're all Canadians. It's all Canadians live down there.
Of
but
course,
they're
yeah,
They're national
yeah.
hockey team. Yeah, we're going down to Bermuda for a sail. It's my brother's first sail, so we're on St. John's, and we get there, and the place is beautiful. And like I don't know how we get in contact with them, but like, yeah, come play. We got a arena for us. We'll have a barbecue, and like we got sticks and gear and stuff. Like, all right, cool, show up. So we get a team together, and our boat bog team was pretty much our base team. We had like,
Oh wow.
yeah. So me and my brother and a couple other guys on the base team, and we're good. We're a good team.
Yeah.
And so we go down there and we show up, and it's this beautiful outdoor rink. They have like a pretty much like a pool house full of gear and all the like one piece sticks you want, balls, and it's overlooking the ocean on a cliff. Has like a private beach down to the left, and they brought like barbecues and food, and they brought like, I don't know, like 32 fours of beer. So we go there, we play in the first game, and we smoked them.
So these
So we
guys
go-
are ex-hockey players then, right?
Yeah,
Just like you,
yeah,
right?
bog players, and we
Yeah.
we put it on them.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, yeah, let's have some beers, go swimming, and we had two teams.
Yeah.
We put our B team out, and they smoked our B team, and then we're drinking all day and swimming in the private beach, jump on the cliff. Like, boys, you want to play again? And we're like, yeah, okay, we'll play again. And we're smashed. And like they know what they were doing. So we go play them, they just put it on us, man. We're like so hot from the sun, and we're like almost falling over, and they're just going balls out. This sniping one-timers, trying to make us look silly. Oh yeah, they beat us like 8-1. It was
Oh
fun
my
though.
God.
It was I don't know, it's probably my best port ever.
So this
Just
is
for that reason.
this is something that a lot of people don't realize is that some of our hockey players on our teams, on our base teams especially, they're phenomenal hockey players. Like they are phenomenal. Our base team, I think, could take a lot of like smaller countries teams. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, small countries, yeah.
yeah, like I'm not talking about the US and everything.
Yeah,
Although
no,
I think
yeah.
yeah, but I think you would give them a run still. But if you were to play like Kazakhstan or you were to play Japan or you trounce
Maybe
them.
Classifying Japan.
Maybe
a smaller country.
Japan. I don't know about Kazakhstan.
You don't think? Yeah. That's
They
true.
got some fires,
They
they
got
got some
players.
fires in Kazakhstan. That might be.
Yeah,
That might
yeah.
be something.
Well, Russia always. I mean, but Kazakhstan is no longer part of Russia. But you
Yeah.
know, yeah, they
Listen,
still.
them genetics are still there, though, son. That's not.
Yeah,
That's exactly
some
it.
Players.
Man, Anton, it was great talking about all this here. Do you want to stick around while we talk a little bit about the trade deadline here?
Sure, man, I'm
It
listening.
came in past.
Yeah, we're good.
So, is there anything that stood out for you as a Habs fan there? I mean, I know you got Eric Gustafson. Did you think the Habs ended up making up any moves in order to get a little bit?
We had Eric Stahl early in the week before the trade deadline.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I like that trade.
Yeah.
Another vet, good big center.
Yeah. But you're losing a lot of games recently there. Like the very fact that Calgary right now could catch Montreal, I didn't think that was going to be. I didn't think it was.
No one thought so. Same with Winnipeg catching Toronto.
Yeah. Well, they just beat Toronto there as well. But I think it was Riddick that they ended up putting in net because Freddie Anderson's still gone. And
What was that score?
No, Riddick played against Calgary.
5-2.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Yeah, Riddick.
No, Riddick played because Jack Campbell
you're
got
right.
pulled.
You're right. Jack Campbell ended up. That's
Got
right.
pulled.
You're right.
He got pulled.
You're right.
Riddick went in.
But that's okay because now we don't. There's no game tonight with that game being postponed with Vancouver.
Yeah.
So, which I mean, I feel bad for Vancouver, but they're going to have to play their games at some point. I
They're
don't
not
know
going
how
to let them
they
play
do
their
it.
games.
I don't think
So-
they will either. If they're mathematically eliminated, they won't have to.
That's
Nah.
what I'm saying, right?
They're out. This morning I read the players are saying now that even getting back on the ice, they can't catch their breath. And like, man, you just from a
Damn.
liability standpoint, like you can't have someone collapsing on ice because they get too gassed. You know what I mean?
Well, just
I'm like,
think about Miles Garrett, right? After he came back after the COVID protocol and everything like that, he was not the same athlete watching him out there.
You have Jason Tatum this week coming out saying he's got to take an inhaler before the games to get his lungs to open up so he can even run 40 minutes. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like, and
like Miles Garrett's a freak.
Matter. Like if the games mattered for Vancouver, I could see him taking the risk and playing. But if they don't, like,
why?
Angel can't take a black eye like that right now.
No.
Nobody wants that.
I mean, you know, that one ref already proved everything that we were thinking there. I forgot his name already. That's crazy. But yeah, the one with the hot mic.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant the one in the tournament. The one in the
I don't know about that, man. Like
we all knew that. Come on, we all knew that's what the ref is thinking. It's like
every ref does that at every level.
I know.
Like I know. That's pretty harsh.
He just got caught, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
everyone knows that's what goes on though. Like
I know.
You can watch any sport and you just watch the whistles and attack you. Like you watch the whistle turn the game, and then you watch these couple ticky tacks when the game's already decided, so it evens out in the box score.
Oh yeah,
it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Man,
it happens every league.
Yeah. Like you said, every level. It happens everywhere. It's not.
Although still the most egregious one was Wayne Gretzky cutting up Doug Gilmour in '93. Like, come on, that was a 4-minute double minor all day.
And you live.
Who was on the ice to score that winning goal? Who was that? That man who wore number 99. Holy jeez, upsetting. And let me tell you something right now, Anton. If the Leafs were in it in '93, Montreal does not win that cup.
Whatever, man. Anyway, so Gretzky, he actually growing up, I have a picture of my old man and Wayne Gretzky.
Oh wow!
In my living room because Gretzky owned Hall when my dad played there. He's a team owner.
Really?
So there's a picture of my dad in his uniform, all in his gear with Wayne Gretzky.
I knew that Gretzky owned Belleville Bulls. I didn't know he owned
Hall when my dad played there. Yeah,
he had money. Gretzky had some money for sure.
Yeah,
man. Where does Ben Askren against Jake Paul land on anybody's radar here right now?
Nowhere am I really. I'll probably check it. I might check it out. Like I don't know. I hope Askren knocks him out, but he's not really a puncher, so we'll see.
All right. Did you guys see the weigh-in?
Yeah.
So you saw Ben Askren's body looking like nice soft dough. Like,
he's not thinking. He thinks he can just cut him. He's just gonna come in swinging. Jake Paul's not a boxer.
Yeah, but Jake Paul looked in better shape. He looked in better shape than Ben. I'm looking at Ben walking.
I think Jake Paul's going to beat him.
I think so too.
What I'm saying is he's not a boxer. Like, look at who he wants to fight. He don't want to fight no real boxer.
I was going to have to soon.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, he just keeps on throwing all these names. He's going to catch somebody. He's not going to get a guy that's a dedicated boxer. He'll get trashed.
After I saw Ben Askren when he came out, he had a nice beer belly. I'm there going, what did he do? Like, did you even train for this? Like,
yeah, but he's fast though. He's got speed.
Yeah,
you know what it means? Oh, sorry, he's crafty.
He's crafty. He's crafty.
Ask Hood Jesus how crafty he is.
Ask who?
Ask Hood Jesus how crafty Askren is.
Yeah.
I've seen Askren. I've seen his craftiness.
He's super crafty.
I've seen him get kneed in the face in 3 seconds.
Now, Frank Mir and Antonio Tarver actually sounds, even though that's the co-main, that sounds more interesting to me. It's like,
I didn't know they were fighting.
Yeah. Frank Mir and Antonio Tarver.
I don't feel like
Antonio Tarver. I never heard that name in a while.
Yeah.
Tarver? Yeah, I know. Last time.
We're going to have headgear on. It's going to be one of those bullshit ass fights like Mercer and Tyson was. They got headgear on and all that shit. I can't watch that. I can't support that kind of. You got to have real violence.
Are they wearing headgear?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Because like
Tarver's got to be 55, bro.
He's ancient. He's old. But Frank Mir is a submission specialist, and I'm there going, why are you saying that you want to go to a boxing match?
Man. Frank Mir's in his late 40s.
Yeah. So I mean, like they're both old.
So is Askren though. Askren's not a puncher either.
Yeah.
He's a wrestler.
Well, I know the funky chicken. I don't know what he's thinking there.
Yeah.
That's why I say about Paul. He don't want to fight no one that knows how to punch.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I would like to see him go like Evander Kane just kept on calling him out. Jake Paul. I'm like, let that happen.
That's because he needs the money.
He needs the money, so it's like, let him have a chance to get some money.
Yeah.
He needs to fight him on YouTube so he gets some cash. He can just not pay anybody with it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is that Evander Kane, he's fought in the ice,
Right?
right?
I'd love to see that. Yeah.
Oh man, he would put his lights
Oh,
out.
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
So
a
of course he's
fighter.
like,
That's
no,
what I'm
I don't-
saying. Everyone that Jake Paul wants to fight aren't known as you'd be able to use their
Punchers.
hands. They're all grapplers or basketball
Basketball
players or
players.
whatever. You know what I mean? They're not anybody. He don't want to fight with someone that knows how to use their hands. He
Heck
wants no
no.
power with Kane.
Heck no.
Kane will stomp him.
Now, in the UFC, we got Robert Whitaker against Kevin Gastelum tonight.
Yeah. If Whitaker
Actually,
wins,
today.
he's got to get a title shot, right?
Does he? Does he?
Who's done more recently?
Who's done more recently than Whitaker?
Yeah.
What about buddy? You just fought last weekend there. Vittori. He just beat. Man, why can't I think of his name right now? That's terrible. He just beat Holland. Yeah, Kevin Holland. Who I was shocked that he was fighting back to back like that, like 3 weeks out.
Well, it's silly season everywhere, right? That's just the thing. We're seeing all kinds of wild stuff in all sports because people have time.
Yeah.
That's what's cool about this time of the world, right? Is people got time to do stuff. So
Yeah.
not a lot of other stuff going on.
So Usman and Masvidal are fighting next week, right? So whoever comes out of that, yeah. So whoever comes out of that, I mean, do they get to pick then who they're going to fight? Is it going to be Gastelum? Is going to be, well, I guess out of this fight here with Gastelum and Whitaker, I mean, yeah, that's a potential number one.
Yeah.
Vittori could be put in there, but he hasn't really. I mean, honestly, Holland just fought Brunson, and I'm not thinking Brunson's in for.
Yeah, I think if Whitaker wins, I think he gets a shot.
Yeah, I think so too.
Or at least he should.
And the worst part, I think that's this fight's got Andrei Arlovsky on it against Chase Sherman. You got Jeremy Little Heathen Stevens on it as well. So
It's a throwback fight.
I know Arlovsky.
I used to love Arlovsky.
Yeah. But it's interesting to say the least. Man, yeah. Trade deadline for me. I think the Leafs touched everything for every position. But I don't know. It's not a winning season for the Leafs unless they get out of the Canadian division, period.
They won 2 rounds.
They have to win 2 rounds. They have to get to the conference finals. And even there, I mean, like every team that's going to the postseason right now are great. There's not one team where it's like, oh yeah, whatever. They just kind of made it or whatever. Like every team's got a chance. They got a puncher's chance. New York Islanders scares me.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite right now?
Carolina got better and Boston got better.
Who's your favorite for the cup right now?
Colorado right now. Yeah. Like that's a no-brainer.
The only issue with Colorado, they have to get through Vegas.
Yes.
They have a tough schedule to get through, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know a lot, right? But I think it's Colorado and Vegas are the top 2, but they just have to face off, and that's where it's going to be.
Yeah.
You find that in a lot of sports, right? Where sometimes the best series aren't the final series.
Yeah. And out of the East, I mean, you got the Islanders, you got Tampa, Florida. I don't know. I mean, this is kind of like, I'm not saying that they don't got a chance.
I like Florida.
I do too. I think there's going to be Florida Tampa in the first round. That's going to be a knockdown, drag out fight. And the Islanders are no chumps. But Boston, yeah, they got better. But Taylor Hall has not. I don't know. He's not the difference maker that I thought he would be.
He already matched his goal total.
I know.
With the Sabres.
If you have a look, yeah.
He's not the difference maker he thought he would be. He's been there for a week, 2 weeks.
Got 2 goals.
No. Wait.
Come on, Sean.
I'm just saying. Okay, so he gets drafted by Edmonton. Edmonton goes down the toilet. Gets traded over to New Jersey. New Jersey
MVP.
goes down the toilet.
Wins MVP.
He does win the MVP, and then it goes down the toilet. Then he goes over to Buffalo. Buffalo's a great team. Like the names. Yeah, that's why I bought the jersey. And Buffalo goes.
Yeah, they were supposed to. I thought they would be good this year.
Yeah. So now he's in Boston. It's another one. He can just make it just all of a sudden, just another one.
Is he the problem, or is he just
I don't
Got
think
bad
it's a
luck.
problem. I just think he has some bad aura. I don't.
If you know anything about Boston, he's not gonna have no bad aura there. They're gonna beat the shit up in the bar.
Hey, I love Boston.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. It's probably my
Yeah.
favorite East Coast city.
Yeah, I love
I
Boston.
like the vibe of it. The vibe is cool, right? Just,
Lots of history. Yeah,
yeah. A lot of just beat your ass or act right. That's the thing.
that's exactly it.
Where it
You
comes
know,
from, right? And you get some of that act right in Boston.
man, one of my favorite peoples out there and close to there, Lowell, Massachusetts. Old Reed there. You know, he's definitely one of my favorite people. He's very crass. He's very rude.
We recently realized that he sounds like Ted from the movie. You know, the teddy bear. That's Reed in real life.
He sounds like a teddy bear.
Yeah,
Like Ted. Yeah.
yeah. Ted the teddy bear. He's just
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Seth MacFarlane voiced animated creature. Always looking for a line. That's what he's doing. He's just trying to figure out where the line is so he can cross it.
Just cross it.
Yeah.
Man.
What about a little bit of football? You want to talk about football?
Yeah, I did. I did want to get into that. So right now, the draft is like upon us. It's right there. Everybody is like dogging Justin Fields. Like either he makes the top 5 or he doesn't make the top 5. It's so crazy. This
Oh, he's
quarterback.
not going to make the top 5.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Look at all the teams.
He's got the Terrell Pryor, Cardale Jones stink on him.
How do you figure that? How do you figure
From
that?
Ohio State. Like I swear to God, yeah. Think about that.
Oh.
That's how it goes. He's got that same. He comes from that system quarterback. They're dogging him for it. His pro day was fire. That dude's throwing darts. There's no reason why he should be falling. He's either got a character issue, which I doubt, or he just is coming from a rough school. There's some schools that are that way. Like you're not drafting a
Dude, Ohio State's a storied organization. It's a storied
quarterbacks,
school.
not
The
quarterbacks.
Ohio State.
Yes.
There we go.
The Ohio State University, and they produce at every position but quarterback.
Running backs, wide
I'm
receivers.
not talking about any of those positions. I'm saying
Yeah.
strictly quarterbacks.
Yeah. Well,
When's
I
the last
mean,
good quarterback to come out of Ohio State?
Cardell Jones, the last one to win something.
You mean a game?
Look, the game. Yeah.
I mean,
And I think
how many of their guys have come out and had to go play other positions?
Well, I mean, Eddie George, what's his
No, I
face?
mean
there?
quarterbacks. Quarterbacks have come
Oh,
out and had to play
quarterbacks.
wide receiver or tight
No,
end or
No, yeah, I
turn
can't
kicks
think of.
or
I don't think Cardell Jones made it out. I think he was third string quarterback for Buffalo. So it's like,
yeah, but wasn't he a first round pick?
no, he wasn't a first round pick. Come on,
You sure?
man. Yes,
round?
I'm certain. No, he was second or third, but he wasn't first round pick. But here's the thing. First round picks, to me, especially in the NFL, it's like there's this whole entire thought that it's like you must turn this organization around. But
Yeah.
most of the success comes from the second or third round. And there's
Even the fourth
no
round.
and there's no expectation on them. So I think that they're just free to develop and become the
I
players
mean,
that they're going to
it's
become.
any sport at any level. That's the thing, right? Like it's all opportunity.
Yeah.
I would say the NFL is the most unpredictable draft, though.
Yeah.
Like in the NBA, you're pretty. You know what you're getting. There's only 2 rounds. You know what you're getting the first couple picks.
Yeah.
NHL, same thing. But the NFL,
NHL though could get a little crazy as well with some of these picks, but I
guess
guess
you
it's back
if
in
you
the
look like
90s.
couple, yeah. Well, no, even now, like a couple first round picks didn't really turn out. First overall picks, Yakupov.
Oh yeah, Yakupov.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing's a crapshoot. And then this year for the draft is tougher, I think, than ever before because there's no combine. You know, pro days are weird.
Pro days, I don't understand pro days, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like
I don't get it. You just,
a pro day is tough, right? It's meeting somebody on their term. Like it's all
Yeah, you're just doing your own
crafted.
thing.
It's
you know exactly what you're gonna do. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
it's all scripted, right? All you're
Yeah.
watching is someone scripted, and I think if you're a talent evaluator, you're watching for movements and mechanics and shit like that, but you're not.
Well, you know that they
blown
spent
away.
money on psychologists and psychiatrists in order to see body movements, in order to see anything like that.
Yeah,
in
but I mean, even the
interviews,
way
you
they
know.
on their 40s, like you'll always have a faster 40-yard dash at your pro day than you will at the combine.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like all that stuff is so,
Yeah.
that's a hard thing with the NFL is you always find these guys that are workout warriors. They look great in shorts and t-shirts and can jump out of the gym and all that other shit, but they can't play.
Yeah,
Tape never lies. I think that's the thing, right?
man. I'm interested. I mean, everybody knows who the number one pick is. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is NFL royalty. So, I mean, we all know that Clemson's quarterback, Brad. I've been drinking a few beer. You're gonna have to give me the name.
His name is Trevor Lawrence.
There we go. Thank you. Trevor Lawrence is going to be going number one. Urban Myers. He's going to put a stamp on that team. Number two, then the Jets. Are they picking? They're obvious to me. They're obviously picking a quarterback, but who's it going to be?
Definitely a quarterback. They just traded Darnold.
I know.
Yeah.
But who's it going to be? That's the thing. Is it Mac Jones? Is it Justin Fields? Is it any of those guys? Like,
I think it's Matt Jones.
yeah.
I won't disagree with it. Mac Jones ends up going 2 or 3, I think.
And then you have this crazy notion that Pitts is going to be picked number 3 for the Niners, Brad.
Yep. It's just what my gut says.
Yeah.
I can't get away from it. I think
Anton.
Kyle Shanahan doesn't care about his quarterbacks. I think he just likes the weapons.
If you go up number 3 in the draft, Anton, are you looking for a quarterback because you got Jimmy Garoppolo, or are you going to take number 3? Are you going to take a tight end?
Not a tight end.
The tight end?
Kyle Pitts. In the 49ers off team right now, right, with what they have and with, who's available and who can throw the ball. Do you take a generational talent like Kyle Pitts is supposed to be at 3? Because you have him and Kittles, and then you put Debo on the outside, another speed receiver, and then you've got a bunch of just crazy backs and an offensive line. Who stops that offense?
Yeah, but how comfortable are you with Garoppolo?
Yeah.
He's always hurt.
But here's the thing. If Atlanta takes a quarterback at 4, you get Matt Ryan. And you know who really loves Matt Ryan? Is Kyle Shanahan.
But Matt Ryan's like, he's on the wrong side of 30, man. He's on the wrong side.
Tell Tom Brady. If you have weapons,
Tom
and
Brady is a
throw the
freak.
ball.
Come on, man.
All
Come
you
on.
have to be able
That's
to do
not
is
even fair.
throw the ball. If that's your offense,
That's not even fair, man. That's not even fair.
it's not
Tom
fair.
Brady.
For
Tom
me, I don't
Brady's
see
a
him
whole
taking
different.
quarterback that far, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't see Matt Ryan going over there to San Fran. Is the golden boy?
Maybe.
I think they'll take a tight end. I think they'll take him. Just because I think they'll roll Garoppolo.
Yeah,
they invested enough in him.
Man, Anton, I just think you're just saying that just to go against me. I mean, that's what I think. It hurts.
Maybe a little.
Yeah, it hurts, but that's okay. It's okay.
Where do you guys? I mean, you guys are both Buffalo Bill fans. What do you think about what's Buffalo going to do?
This is the first year that Buffalo doesn't have to do anything. It's the same thing with Cleveland. They don't have to draft for a position.
What do you think they do for the first time?
Man, it's going to be. They could be looking at something on the defense, as far as I'm concerned, right now. You know what I mean? They don't need anything on the offense.
They don't really need anything.
Yeah,
This is the first time that they get to draft the best player available and not the best player at a position available.
Yeah.
Huge, right?
It's gigantic. It can make a whole difference on your football squad now, because it's like now we could think strategically as far as whoever is there.
The trap is that you can't miss.
Mm-hmm.
You can't miss with these picks when you're in that position because that's how you get backwards.
It's a rarity, though.
Talent, right? But you've got to be able to build a roster, and if you can't build a roster, then you're back to square one.
But it's a complete rarity that Buffalo is in this position when you think about some of the stuff that Buffalo has done in the past.
I love the Emmanuel Sanders pickup, though.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes.
Him and Diggs, man.
Oh,
Cole Beasley.
Cole, I know that's like a 3-hit prong.
Sean tried telling me last year that Cole Beasley was the best slot receiver in the NFL.
I thought so at the time last season. Last season, I thought so.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah, at the time, I think so. Last
He
season,
had a
I'm not
great
saying
year
of
last
all
year.
time.
Right.
Last season,
Last
I
year,
think
though,
he was.
maybe last year, yeah.
He's top 5. He's not the best.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe last year, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, thank you, Anton. Listen. Seattle right now, I think that it's going to be an interesting season for Seattle coming out of all this. I mean, Russell Wilson, I don't think is very well liked.
Trade Russell.
They can't trade Russell. I think they're stuck with Russell.
No, just for this year.
Yeah, they're stuck with him.
He's not going anywhere.
No.
they'll bring that coordinator in, let him open it up, see what the deal is. Russ got his guys. That way he can't scapegoat out, and then.
All right, fellas, I gotta take off. I got kids
Hey,
knocking on my door.
Anton, thank you so much, my friend.
Appreciate you.
Take it easy, okay? And
Yeah, thanks for having me.
absolutely, it was a blast for sure.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Take
See
it
ya.
easy,
Yeah.
man. He was a good guest.
Yeah, it was good talking to him.
Yeah.
Always good talking to him. Yes. I'll just say one last thing about Russell Wilson. I think that the 21 years, you're right, it's going to be the craziest season yet. They'll let that coordinator go nuts with his system, see how it goes, and then they'll see how it plays out. You know, it feels a lot like Russell Wilson showing back up now in the media and stuff is I don't remember who said it this week. Somebody said this week, and they played it off as when George quit on Seinfeld and just showed it back up on Monday like he never quit. Whatever.
That was the best.
Take it. As long as he wins, as long as they win, winning heals all things, right? At least in the
That's
moment.
it.
So
That's it. You're absolutely correct,
that's the thing.
man.
Okay, well, folks, that wraps us up.
Wait. I got a one-on-one question for you. I got a
look at you.
one-on-one question for you before you just wrap everything up here into a nice
Look
little
at
bow. Got a nice one-on-one
you.
question for you. All right. Get a nice bevy into me before I ask this. Okay.
Mhm.
So it was interesting to me that you didn't know that hockey players chirped at each other when they wanted to go fight. What was the most memorable hockey fight, though, you've ever seen? And it doesn't matter if it's NHL, minor league, whatever.
I remember an Everett Silvertips game when they're playing Spokane, and those folks hate each other. And these two
WHL,
dudes-
buddy. Yeah. Keep going.
Those two dudes got into it, and they were both in the penalty box, and one was throwing shit over the top of the penalty box to the other one, and they got back out and they fought again, and the whole crowd was into it. And then this is why it's my favorite part, because it's Everett, and Everett's a great city, is when the guy comes back on out of the box from Spokane, the announcer goes, Spokane back to full strength, and the whole crowd goes, and they still suck.
Man, for me, it's always going to be Wendell Clark against Marty McSorley in those 93 playoffs. That first punch that Wendell put on the Marty, and you just saw the blood squirt out of his eye, and it was just like, ugh!
Yeah, I feel a little bit like I saw too much behind the curtain today to understand that they set those fights up. I wanted to be more of a in the moment.
Oh no, yeah.
Whatever.
You feel like when you found out wrestling is fake for the first time? Is that...
Yeah, I mean the comparisons between the NHL and the WWE are strong. I'll just say that.
They're not fake fights. I mean,
Oh, they're not fake fights in WWE either.
oh come on, no. You can't believe this. You think that Hogan slammed Andre?
I think that they really hit the ground, and I think that they really make contact sometimes.
They do.
That's what I think.
Very right. Very, very, very correct. You have a question for me before we go?
All for entertainment.
Well, WWE. It's in the name.
Now they had to change it. I think they
Yeah.
want to get sued again.
That's exactly it.
WF was like, "Oh, when we put our application in, we hit one letter too far. We meant to say E instead of F."
Well, they used to be the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, right? So it was just like there was
Too
3
many letters.
W's. Yeah. They had to drop one W and then all of a sudden get sued.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What I want to know from you is, who is the greatest superhero of all time?
The greatest superhero of all time. Man. When I was a kid, I would have told you that it was Spider-Man. But as I get older, I realize that it's Superman and Batman.
Oh,
Mostly Superman. I mean, Batman though. See,
What
Batman.
Deadpool? Does Deadpool register with you?
No.
So you only acknowledge 3 superheroes.
Yeah, like, and one of them is Marvel. There's 2 that's DC. But the thing is that Batman.
I don't care about genre
Yeah.
or whatever those franchise. I don't care about that. I'm
Batman's
just in general.
Batman's the most baddest out of all of them. Just think about it. He's
Just a rich white guy. That's all.
He's a human being.
Free time.
Excelled his body. He knows every single Justice League member's weakness. So if he ever has to, if he ever has to do something, he had exit plans for every single one of them. If they ever turned, I mean, Batman was a real deal, man. And yeah, he had money.
Batman's more of a villain than he is a superhero.
He's kind of, yeah. There's something dark about a guy that lives with bats.
Yeah. He's a villain.
Man.
He's a villain. You're right. When you're a child, Spider-Man's the answer.
Yeah. Well, Spider-Man was because I ended up reading that one comic there where it was a crossover between him and Superman. And he was like, science geek. So he put kryptonite, because kryptonite was just readily available, into his web slinger.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's a world that blew up so many planets away, but we got kryptonite everywhere. It's everywhere. It's running rampant.
Yeah. Well, it went through the universe and landed on Earth, so it's just little mines of everywhere. Superman never registered with me because it feels like he's cheating all the time.
The thing that I liked about, some of the, he did. But I mean, when you look at it, he didn't start off that way, and then he just became more and more.
Yeah. And
Superman is a representative, like he's a representation of Moses originally, right? When they wrote him, same sort of storyline being sent out. But then it became more something
godlike.
else. But
Godlike.
More godlike. Yeah. But Superman was just you knew that he had that power to, like, if he wanted to, he could just destroy Earth. But it's funny whether they took some. Man, I'm getting so nerdy out on you right now. I'm nerding out on you. It's like, because like when they went through some of those storylines, when Lois Lane died and he just snaps, right?
Spoiler alert: Lois Lane dies. Everyone, jeez, Sean.
It was an alternate universe, but he snaps and he ends up going against the Justice League, right? It was wow.
Have you watched Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes, I did. Yes. Very interesting. Yeah.
It's fantastic. Okay, kids, with that, we're out. That's the move. Hey, I want to shout out Flyers real quick. They got a new beer launched out, so go see them, check it out. X Session IPA.
Excellent.
And available. Not like their competitors, they're in the move, so shout out our boys at Flyers.
Yeah. I'm going to give a shout out to 2 breweries here, since I enjoyed both their beers in this episode. So Garrison, thank you. The Deja Mu, perfect.
Yeah, that looks fantastic.
And Temptation Red by Boxing Rock, thank you so much as well. Excellent beers. Man, I'm blessed in the area that I'm at. Same with you. I mean, really, I'm amazed that these guys are able to make this quality beer during this pandemic, getting it out there. I'm very happy. Thank you so much. It's been great. Flyers, thank you so much for sponsoring us. And I hope that people are coming out there. And Brad, are you going there? You going there today?
Yeah.
Going to sponsors. Going to Flyers to get some brewski.
Yeah. Cook out later, drink some Flyers beer. That's how it rolls out.
Go. That sounds
sunny day. Sunny day here. Hope it's a sunny day for you. Everyone, be good at it, or in some cases, be both. Right.
There you go. Righto.
You've listened to the podcast, but now it's time to visit us in our virtual sports bar. Get all of our info at guysbeersports.com, where you can find all the ways to connect with us. Watch for live conversations with Brad and Sean that happen throughout the week, and join in with your favorite local beer. You can share your thoughts in the conversation comments with your own uploaded videos, or even join us as a guest live commentator. The GBS Virtual Sports Bar is open for business. Come on in, boys and girls.